Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vanessa and I am an indie author and I publish under the pen name A Sage. I write young adult, mostly fantasy. There's some sci-fi in there, but a lot of it is paranormal mystery for the YA genre. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome once again. If you don't know what this channel is about, I talk a lot about authorship, tips for writers, behind the scenes of what it's like to be an author and an entrepreneur. And we do some planner videos and stationery videos because I'm obsessed with them. So there is a video that comes out every single week. So if you're into that, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Now, in today's video, we are talking about book marketing 101. So what you should be doing and some tips that I have for you when you're marketing your books, even before you've written them, but maybe after you've written them, or if you have a backlist. And with today's video, we actually have a resource. So there is a resource that's coming up and I talk about it a little bit more towards the end of the video. So if you sign up for the resource library, you will be getting that for yourself absolutely for free. Now, let's get into book marketing 101 and some of the tips that I have on the topic. If you're an author, I'm sure it will come as no surprise to you, or if you're just writing your book right now, but marketing will play a big part of how you get the information about your book to your readers out there and the people who would be your best audience to accept and read your book. So how do you do that? Now, ads and paid marketing is a part of it. And I am going to have another video later next week, actually, on Facebook ads for authors, where we do a full walkthrough of the platform. So make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for that. But it's not just paid ads that is part of PR and marketing when it comes to publishing your book. There is a whole bunch of other stuff that goes into the behind the scenes of getting your book out there into the world and getting people to know about it and to read it. And some of those things are things like having an updated website. So if you're an author, I highly recommend having a website, even if it's just a landing page or something minimal, but somewhere where you can actually direct people to get more information on your books. It will take a bit of time for you to get on Google. So when you Google your author name, you'll see if you Google, like, I don't know, Neil Gaiman, for example, you'll see all of Neil Gaiman's books pop up there on Google, but it takes some time for Google to actually populate that. So the best thing to do is for SEO is to have your own website, like a hub where you can direct people, that you have all the information on your books and your releases, any PR that you've had, any promotions you have going on, newsletters, all that stuff. So having an updated website is step one of your marketing yourself and your book as an author. Utilizing your mailing list for marketing. Mailing lists, aside from the subscription services, and I did have a mailing list for authors video, which I will link here, but utilizing your mailing list is pretty much a free way, more or less, once you have it set up, to market your book. People who have subscribed to your mailing list are people who are already interested in what you have to say. And so when you have a book that comes out, they'll be the first ones that want to know about it, right? So you want to utilize that mailing list as best you can. And the best way to do that is to actually stay in contact with your mailing list regularly. So send regular newsletters, keep people updated on the progress of your books, let them know what's coming up, share different scenes that you might have for them ahead of time, something as a reward for being a part of your mailing list. Maybe you could do giveaways for signed copies. Maybe you could do giveaways for ebooks. And so you can kind of use that mailing list as a marketing tool that doesn't involve paying for ads. You also want to have a social media strategy. Now, what I mean by social media strategy, I'm not talking about anything super extensive here, but when you're marketing your book, or when you have a book that's about to come out, or a book that has come out, like you're marketing maybe your backlist, you want to think about how much of that you put on your social media and where in your social media that sits. So you want to think about your different graphics that you would use, what days of the week, for example, you'll be posting, on which which platforms you'll be most popular on, or on which platforms you will be most active on. And you want to have that strategy for social media presence in place before you even publish your book. However, if you don't already have it in place and you have published your book, then now is a really good time to sit down and kind of figure out which days of the week you'll be posting on and what you'll be posting on those days of the week. Are you doing more than once a day posts on certain platforms? How much of your time can you devote to that? And what kind of voice are you going to have on this social media platform? So will you be more personal? Will you be giving people tips like I do here? Will you be giving people behind the scenes of your life as an author? And how are you going to speak about your book? And all of that, all of your voice and your images and everything that you use on social media goes back to your author branding, not just the book itself. So you want to make sure that you have that in place too. And then the other thing that you want to really truly think about when you're on marketing, especially marketing on social media, is you want it to be about 70% social and about 30% sell. You don't want to be telling people all the time that you have a book and buy my book and read my book and here's my book. That's a lot, right? I just said it 3 times in the span of a minute, and I'm sure you already were tired of hearing the word book. So you could imagine when somebody is coming to your social platform and all they see is buy this, get this, read this, it's exhausting. And I know that they say that it takes a person 7 times to act on something, to see something 7 times in order to act on it. That doesn't mean they need to see it 7 times in a row. It also doesn't work that way for social media. That is more of a paid ad type of mentality. On social media, you want to be mostly social. So that's what social media is. The more personal you are, not only will your audience enjoy it more and therefore be more inclined to support you and buy your book, but you will enjoy it more. I love social media when I don't have to sell my books. When it comes to book launches, I am excited about my books coming out, and so I have launch times where I am excited about it. But other than that, if I have to promote for the sake of promoting, I feel sleazy. I feel like a knife salesman going door to door. And I just don't like it. I don't have fun being on social media for that purpose. I do use my social media pretty much only for business purposes, but I am social on it. I want it to be fun for me. And if it's fun for me, it's fun for the people who are following me. So I think that keeping that 70-30 rule in mind when you're posting something or creating that social media strategy is really important. You also want to find out what you can offer. So marketing, it's not just about selling people something or people buying your book or reading it or leaving you a review. Marketing is finding what you can offer to other people and then forming that community around yourself and forming that connection to them that's outside of just sell, right? It's going back to, again, 70-30. So figure out what it is you can offer. Can you help other authors? Can you give people something every day from, say, your book, little snippets of chapters, character sketches, different fun, like maybe skits that you wrote with your characters, something that will help them escape from their everyday life? Can you show them pretty pictures? Can you record funny videos? What is it that you can give people that will keep them entertained, will keep them reading and wanting more without you just selling to them? Always give before taking. I think that's a really good strategy to have for any kind of marketing. You also want to think about your ideal reader. And this is very important for any type of marketing strategy, is you want to find your ideal customer, right? And your reader is your customer. So when I worked in marketing, the way that you would find your ideal customer is you would literally think about a physical person, what they look like, where they hang out, what their age is, are they male, female, other, like everything. You want to think about what their hobbies are, where they would hang out. Do they have kids? Do they have pets? You think about, like, how do they dress? Where do they shop? What does their house look like? Where do they live? Every little thing that you would think about a person. It's almost like when you write your characters in your books, write your ideal reader that way. So you want to get to know your ideal reader. And none of this is going anywhere, just for you to know, because when you know your ideal reader, you know where that ideal reader is hanging out, and you can meet them there. So you can be on the platforms that they are on, not necessarily ones that you might have picked in the first place. If your ideal reader is on Goodreads, then maybe you need to pay more attention to Goodreads. If they are on Facebook, then maybe you need to pay more attention to Facebook. If they read blogs all the time, then maybe you need to start a blog, right? So think about your ideal reader and then meet them where they're at. And then another really big part of marketing your book that, again, is also free is an ARC team. I say free because I'll tell you in a second. So an ARC team is an advanced reader/reviewer team. You can't expect reviews, but essentially what you do is you give people a copy of your book ahead of time, and they read it. And if they would like to leave a review for it, they do so. And that way, when your book launches, you already have some reviews that you've kind of trudged up. Now, the reason I said free is because for the most part, it is free. You would get your ARC readers through either your newsletter, like asking people on your newsletter if they want to be on your advanced reader team, through your social media, asking friends and things like that. Although I don't recommend friends and family unless they actually are readers of your genre, because that could get kind of icky. But you can also use things like Booksprout, and Booksprout is a free service. They do have a paid tier, but you can start completely free. You get 20 copies that you can hand out with every single book that you have. And Booksprout will kind of put it out there. Whoever wants to grab your book, they grab the copy that you've uploaded, and they promise to leave a review the day of your launch. And you can kind of put all that on there. I'll leave a link for Booksprout in the description. You can also use NetGalley. This is where the sort of free comes in. NetGalley is a paid service. It is not cheap. However, it is a great way to get reviews, but there's no guarantee what kind of review you will get. And if you pay for it and you get a bad review, you're just going to have to deal with it. There's also things like Reader's Favorite. A few of my books have received 5-star reviews from Reader's Favorite. It works the same way as NetGalley. You kind of pay to put your book out there in the world. If somebody wants to pick it up and read it, kind of like in Booksprout, they will pick it up and they'll read it, and they will leave you a review. However, no guarantee what kind of review you will get. So keep that in mind. But an advanced reader team is a great way to get not just reviews for your book out there, but if these people really like your book, they're kind of your street team in a way. I don't know why what is all of this all the time? They're your street team in a way. And so they'll talk about your book. They'll tell their friends. They'll post on social media, hopefully. And you can always nudge and encourage and ask if people want to do it. You can send them ad graphics, like social media post graphics to use if they want to post about it. But it's a great way to get some marketing for your book for pretty much free. Another thing, and this is where more of the paid stuff comes in, is if you are doing the ads, the paid ads, if you're going to be doing pay-per-click ads on either BookBub, Amazon, Facebook, any of those, make sure you learn what you're doing before you run even your first ad. We are going to do the Facebook ads 101 kind of walkthrough, setup, and what you should do before you run your ads next week. And that's going to be a good video to kind of watch out for. But you want to make sure if you need to take courses on ads, then do so. If you want to spend a month or two just reading different blogs and what people have put out there on ads, then do so. If you want to take, Mark Dawson has Ads for Authors course. It's more expensive. It is expensive. It's not more expensive. It is expensive, but it's totally worth it. It's got a ton of information packed into it. You can also watch a bunch of YouTube videos of people like myself who share this kind of stuff. So learn the ads, because if you don't learn the ads and how to do them properly, believe me when I tell you, you are going to lose so much money. Just throw it out there and get no results. So just make sure you know what you're doing, and test stuff out. Make sure you put caps on your budgets, and we'll talk about all of that next week as well. And then the other thing you want to think about, and this is the free part of ads or marketing or whatever is going out there, is you want to write good copy. So your blurb, your taglines, your ad copy, all of that, it has to be really well written and it has to be enticing. And you should test it before you actually put any money behind it. And the best way to test it is to put it out on social media. There's testing, obviously, you can do in the ad platforms, but if you want to just see what works, say for a blurb, put it out on social media and ask your followers what they think, which one's better, which would they prefer, what kind of drives them more. If you have a Facebook group, ask the people in it. So whatever copy you put out there about your books, just make sure that it is exactly what you need to come across, and then it describes both yourself as an author and your book correctly. And the last thing, that's probably the best thing to do when you are beginning to market your book or your books, or even yourself as an author, is to create a marketing checklist. Now, there is a free resource that comes with this video, and I put that in the description, and I kind of forgot to do an introduction of it at the beginning, but now, the last thing that you want to do when it comes to marketing your book is you want to have a marketing checklist. Now, this is the free resource that comes with this video. I have a 2-page checklist created for you guys, and it's part of the resource library. So if you already signed up for the newsletter for this channel, then you will have access to the resource library already. All you have to do is log back in, and then you'll see that there's a author or book marketing checklist PDF on there, and it's a full checklist of what you should be doing, what you should be checking for prior to marketing your book or as you're marketing your book. If you haven't signed up yet, then there's a link in the description where you can go and sign up, and you'll get a password so you can access all the resources, not just this one, every single resource. And I do try to update as much as I can. And we're going to be updating more resources in this quarter, right before we hit kind of the Christmas season and the New Year season. So make sure that you're signed up so you can get all those resources that are coming up as well. So that's what I have for you guys for the marketing section of book marketing, kind of book marketing 101. And we'll continue with Facebook ads 101 again. I guess I just like saying 101, but we'll continue with that next week, but hopefully you found this useful. If you have any other questions on marketing your books, or if you want any specific videos made on any of the points that I've listed, then make sure you comment below and let me know. And if you do have a book coming out, make sure you comment that below and put a link to it so people will know where to find it, because it's such a huge accomplishment. So I hope that you guys can promote it here, market it here. Why not? That's what this channel is for. We are a community after all. And so share your book with others in this community. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you are staying cool in this hot summer that we have going on. And I hope you stay magical, and I will see you next week. Bye.